Welcome to Tameside Bossing It. Today I am joined in the office by Dom from Firwood Carpets and Flooring in Denton. Dom, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Coming on to our podcast. So a little bit different with you because the previous people that I've had on so far have all been business owners, but you're not necessarily the business owner, but you do quite a lot for the business, right?
Yeah.
So, but what I am going to do is I'm going to try and keep the same format. So the format so far has been that I've just let my guests talk about where they've started from leaving school
Yeah.
to where they're at now, and and what their plans are in the future. So take us back to you leaving school and talk to me about your journey from that point on.
So leaving school or where I started working.
No, leaving school. What did you do from leaving school? Because we want to know a little bit about you as well, right?
So from leaving school, I was already working for Firwood. So I was
Okay.
only 16, but on the weekends. So it was a weekend job. About 2 weeks before actually finishing up, I just went in and said, I'd absolutely love to work here full time. I love it here. It's great. I want to learn the trade, everything about it. So from that point, just went straight into working in the shop with a bit more of a sporadic role. Like
Yeah.
I would be salesman one day, tidying up the next, out with the fitters another. So it was a big learning curve.
All right.
I already knew a bit about it because I was doing the weekends, but yeah, it was a big eye opener.
How did you get the job at the weekends? How did that come about?
So when you're 14, you get a placement, and it was actually at Firwood Carpets. So I already had an in.
Also, like when you did work experience from
Yeah,
school. Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
yeah. So
Did you know somebody there?
no, didn't know them at all. I walked in. I said, "Is this Firwood Carpets? We've got a placement." They were like, "Yeah, but we've not asked for anybody." We're taking the mic. Oh, and I was like gullible. The 14-year-old was like, "Oh, dead embarrassed. Thought I was in the wrong place." And he went, I went to walk out. And he went, "Come here." It was like, right, yeah, they're having me on here. So
So who owned that then?
at the time, he was just called Bill Lyons.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, well known in Denton. He was a really funny man, good
Yeah.
character. He was brilliant. He taught me everything. I know to this day. So yeah,
So when you did your work experience,
yeah.
obviously you then went back to school, finished school, um, and then when did you start working for them during the weekends then?
Straight after the placement.
Oh, really? So even when you were that young?
Yeah, so
Right.
I asked straight away, like, I'd love to earn some money on the weekends,
Yeah.
pocket money, and they found a bit of work for me on the holidays and the weekends, so it was good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was good.
That's pretty cool though to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you finish school and then you go straight into ask them for full time from that point on.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
no, didn't go college.
Right.
Stayed there. Thought
Why?
I'd learn the trade.
Out of curiosity.
I didn't. I didn't know what I wanted to do after it, and I just wanted to make money. Simple
Okay.
as that. I wanted to get on a ladder of making money,
Yeah.
looking into the future, saving up for a house, this, that, and the other. Because
Why? Where does that come from? At 16-year-old? Why have you got that mentality at 16-year-old?
so my mum, so there was me, my mum, and I had three sisters in the house. So
Right.
there wasn't really much room. I was living in between my mum's house, my girlfriend's mum and dad's at the time, and it was just like felt like I didn't really have a place. So I just wanted to earn as much money as possible so I
Right.
could have a bit of stability of my own house. That was all that was in my head. Like,
So you're stuck in a house with 4 other women. But that was entertaining.
yeah, I mean, stepdad was there to back me
Right.
up, but yeah, it was good. Yeah,
Gosh.
I don't like resent anything. I'm
Yeah.
part of it. It's just it was what it was. There was
Can I ask about your biological dad?
Yeah, he's in the picture. He only lives around the corner.
Right.
I'll speak to him. He's really involved in my life. Just there wasn't enough space there neither, really. So
Yeah.
just wanted-
I remember when I first got with my my now wife, and I always remember Michael, so my father-in-law. So there was him, very similar to you. So there was him, my wife, and then her 2 younger sisters, and obviously Andrea, the mum. And he was like, "Oh man, I I've been waiting for this day where there's another bloke.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not going to be ganged up on as much now. But yeah, I do remember that.
So in between both living with my partner's mum and dad and her brother and sister, space was still cramped there as well.
Right.
So we sort of set a goal. She was in college, to be fair. But I had ambitions to move out from very young, get our own place. Like, can we afford it yet? Can we afford it yet? I was probably being unrealistic. I was like, yeah, we could probably just rent somewhere, but she didn't want that.
Yeah.
She made me realise I don't want that. I want to buy somewhere. And then, to be fair, we didn't move out. I didn't move out of either. It was just to and from for a while. So yeah.
So, your girlfriend at 16, is this a girlfriend that you met while you were at school?
Yeah. So we met through friends.
Right. Okay.
They were together at the time, and just been together since. Yeah.
So you've been together since? How old are you now?
27.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's good though. You don't really hear that much
No.
about
Yeah.
that sort of stuff.
She's great. I rely on her for a lot. She's
Yeah.
really good for me. So it's
Okay,
good.
bro. So you've literally only had the one job, right?
No.
Okay. So go on, tell me what happened.
So I was 10 years old. I was quite. I was always out. I was always doing stuff, but I was causing a bit of mayhem, really.
When you were
Getting
10?
up to no good.
When you were 10?
Yeah, just
Wow, okay.
out on the streets. Usually playing football, usual stuff, but you'd be doing knock a door on you, that sort of stuff. And my mum at the time said, "You're gonna go and work with your uncle in a garage."
Right.
So I was doing like weekend work, just giving me pocket money there. And I think I've just, from a young age, I've always like done a little bit and earned money, and it's just sort of stuck from quite young. So
So why not get it? So if you worked at a garage at a young age, why
it's freezing.
freezing?
It was freezing. I didn't like it at all.
Right, okay.
No, didn't like it.
Because you could have gone, I assume you could have gone down that route, though, right?
Well, I was only 10, so when I say worked, I was just
Yeah, you
I
were
was
passing a
just
spanner or something, right?
yeah, I was just staying out of trouble, really.
Right.
So yeah, and to be fair, that didn't last long. I was probably there for about 6 months.
Right.
It was a good taster for
Yeah.
being somewhere, having to be handy, and
Yeah.
so it was nice.
So once you've left school, you've only really ever worked at the garage and then Firwood, right?
No, so before Firwood, just before the placement, I was doing night shifts at a club, pot collecting.
How old are you at this point?
I was just turned 14 at that
Oh
point.
my God, right,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was through a relation. I knew someone who ran the club.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, I've just always loved working. It's always made me feel like I've got a purpose and something to do. So
Right.
yeah, used to do Friday nights. It was like 8:30 till sometimes 1 in the morning.
God.
My stepdad would come and pick me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah.
We're not gonna name that pub though, because working at
So
1
don't
AM
worry.
in the morning for a 40 would probably be frowned upon. Wow, okay though. So you've always worked then, right?
Yeah, a long time.
You've always had that sort of ethic to be able
Yeah.
to do something.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you've started at Firwood, why are you still there so many years later? Why is it somewhere that you wanna stay and work?
So winding it back a little bit, I did actually leave Firwood
Okay.
for a length period of time. I've only been back there for coming up to a year now.
Okay, so what did you do in that interim period?
Interim period, I actually left and went fitting carpets myself.
Okay.
Self-employed. I was 19 at the time, out of an Astra car.
Right.
Worked out really well.
Oh, so you've been doing that a good few years then?
Yeah, so I was actually on my knees fitting carpets for 19 to 23, so good couple of years.
Yeah.
And
How did Firwood feel about you leaving them and going to do that on your own?
they were a bit shocked, to be fair. Bill was shocked, and Danny, the other lad that working there, he was shocked at the time. But it was just the best thing for me. It was the next step to earn a bit better
Ah.
money, and
So
it worked out really well.
when you sort of thought, talk me through that thought process then. So you're working at a flooring company,
Mm.
and all of a sudden you're thinking, right, I can go and do this myself.
Yeah.
What was your thought process to get to that realization that you could go and do it yourself?
I would say it's from a young age, just saving as much money as possible. Like, get as much money as I can, save as much as possible, get my life to a point where, I'm in a position where I can have a family and um, have a bit of stability in my own life. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I just really wanted my own setup. I wanted my own. Just wanted to be at that stage from quite young.
So tell me about the night before you hand your notice in to Firwood.
The night before,
Yeah. What were you feeling? What were your emotions at doing that? Were you scared?
yeah, really anxious, really sick. I didn't even want to do it. Do you know? I was because I love Bill, and the relationship was really good. So it wasn't wasn't something I actually expected to do. I thought I was going to back out and just stay there, but Freya helped, my partner. She helped me to come to that decision.
Right.
She said, "Well, if your heart's telling you one thing, then you've just got to do it." So I just took the leap. She helped me get the car, and um, that was already in place. And then just let him know the next day, really.
What was his reaction?
Um, I mean, I was only young, so he wasn't. I wouldn't say he was too surprised. I think it's quite common for
But you're
apprentices
19,
and
but you're 19 years old though, right?
yeah,
So you're 19, you'd been with him a couple of years already.
yeah,
You'd already done your work experience there.
yeah,
So he's known you for a good 5 years.
yeah.
Okay, so did you work a notice or did you leave?
No, just left. I wasn't actually employed
Right.
properly, so it was that was another thing. Really, that was a big decision maker. Like,
Yeah.
right, if I'm not employed, I might as well earn myself some
Yeah. I get that.
established money. So,
Okay. So talk me through the next couple of years then doing this.
um, worked for a company in Oldham, fitting carpets for a good couple of years through COVID as well.
What
So,
was that like?
strange. It was really strange. So obviously everyone was so scared of what was going on, but people still wanted flooring. You'd expect to go into a house and they'd be so concerned, but everyone was just really inviting, and they were more than happy that they because they were getting some sort of normality. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, we're getting the flooring done.
I just remember that time period was so weird.
Yeah,
Like I remember when so I didn't own so Thompson Estates is obviously brand new. We opened at the beginning of this year. But prior to that, and I still do own another company called Your Property Centre.
right.
Um, and prior to COVID, I was working for my uncle, who you've just met, the guy in the corner over there. And it was only after COVID that I bought the business off him. So before COVID, he was very much, I mean, he still is. He's still like he works in the 90s. Like he still writes everything down on pen and paper and all that sort of stuff, right? And when COVID was happening, I was like, John, I said, we need to figure out what we're going to do here. I said, because we're going to end up closing. Don't be so ridiculously. And I was like, no, honestly, John, I said, we are going to end up closing.
Yeah,
And then I ended up actually getting COVID on the weekend or the week that he then turned around and said, everything's shutting down. So I rang John up and I was like, right, so we're going to work from home now. What did we get in place and plan for this? He's like, shut up. I was like, I told you. I said we needed to do it. So anyway, it's relevant to the story. So a couple of days later, when I was feeling a lot better, I came to the office to get my laptop and a bit of work and all that sort of stuff. And I remember leaving my house and I jumped on the motorway, and I remember not seeing a car.
yeah, that's what it was like.
Literally, for a good 10 minutes, I think I saw a car in Ashton.
Yeah, made life easier.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah,
And do you not think, like, when you actually look back, and I say this to other people and they look at me like I'm a bit weird, but like, do you not think that the grass looks greener and the skies were
blue.
bluer?
Yeah, yeah. I say You'd be,
Do you know what I mean? It was nuts.
yeah, you get home early. It was just sunny the whole time, wasn't it? You'd be kicked back, so hot when I got a beer, and you're looking up,
Yeah.
no planes, sky's just it's peaceful.
Everything was just quiet, wasn't it?
You had more time. Everyone was
Yeah.
seemed happier.
Yeah.
Although people
It-
on the news were scared.
Yeah.
Everyone was,
Yeah.
generic.
You know, obviously you had everybody like with the jobs, and I get everybody, lost an awful lot of jobs and things like that, and the furlough, and we're still paying for it now, aren't we?
Yeah,
With the way that it works. But yeah, like people kind of, I don't know, although you were so disconnected from people, when we all started opening back up, I feel like it gave you a reason to reconnect with some people that you hadn't done previously.
well, you were so excited
To see
to be.
people, yeah.
You could speak to someone
Yeah.
for hours about absolutely
Yeah.
everything, couldn't
I
you?
mean, we were, I remember when it first started, my wife's asthmatic, and when it first started, she was like terrified because obviously there was a big thing about if you were asthmatic that you really needed to, kind of shield and all that sort of stuff. And I remember going to the shops and I'd go and do the whole queue outside Astra or wherever.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got home, I had to empty the stuff out in the hallway, and not touch any of the other stuff.
Yeah.
And then she'd make me go and take all my clothes off and put them in the washer back straight away.
So
And then I had to go for a shower before I could get changed into something else because I was that terrified of it.
it was scary.
But no,
Like,
it's nuts.
yeah, because like say you'd speak to your elders, and they would be scared. Like, well, one side of the family's elders, they're petrified, but then
Yeah.
the others are a bit more abrasive. They're like, come here, I don't care, just come and see us.
Yeah.
Like, because
And then did you do the banging of the pans and the pots and all that sort of stuff?
afraid of all. I was too busy
Yeah.
on PlayStation.
But I was like, well, so we've got a nurse that lives next door to us. She's amazing. She's called Sarah. She may as well be my like on call nurse for my family and our street, to be
Yeah.
honest. But I remember speaking to her. I was like, I mean, it's great that you do that, but banging a pan ain't going to help us. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's all well and good saying thank you by banging a pan, but it doesn't actually physically do anything.
No.
So it was a very odd thing to do.
I
And
definitely think it helped raise
morale,
morale and awareness for the fact that they were struggling.
God, yeah.
But it doesn't give them best appreciation, really, does it?
No.
Like, there could have been something else that could have been done.
I mean, some of the stories that Sarah used to tell us, I've got another lady called Gemma who's a nurse as well. And yeah, some of the stories that they used to tell us were just horrific.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrific. I mean, we had my daughter during COVID as well. And that was a weird time because my wife would go to hospital for a scan and stuff. And I couldn't come in. I had to sit outside. And then we went for a gender scan to find out, whether the baby was a boy or a girl. And I couldn't come in. I went in with my two boys, obviously, because that was before COVID and everything. But yeah, I couldn't come in. I had to wait outside, and then she had to come out to the car and then tell us like what we were having. And then last thing about me, but when she went into labour, then I had to get my mum and dad to come down to look after the boys. And then we took her to hospital, and I didn't want to miss it. And historically, whenever she's started to go into labour, she's then gone quite quickly. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to leave. But they wouldn't let me in until she was so many centimetres. They wouldn't let me in. And I was like, so what do you want me to do? And she's like, well,
You're going to make contact at some point.
well, so this is the thing that I never understood. And I even asked at the time, and then even the nurses were like, it's just the policy. We're just not allowed. And I was like, if I've got COVID now, like right now, I'm probably going to have COVID when she's X amount of centimetres dilated and we're having baby. It's not really making a great deal of difference, is it?
No.
But no, I had to go and sit in a car for, I think it was about 5.5, 6 hours, watching Netflix on my phone until like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So, crazy.
So Frey got pregnant with our first, but we just missed it. I think there was still some rules of like distancing and coming into meetings, but most meetings I was there. I was in was with the whole birth process. So that was lucky, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how I could have coped, especially with her having a section. Like,
Right.
if you find all that out while she's not there, it was hard enough waiting to go into the surgery room, never mind being out for the entire thing. So, yeah.
So what have you got? A little boy, a little girl?
Little boy and just a little girl now. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. So how old's your little boy?
He's 4.
4.
Yeah.
What's he like?
He's stunning. He's funny. He's
Yeah.
got a character, yeah. Yeah, but he's so polite as well. Chester's World.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Oh,
He's a good lad. He's
and then
really
what's your daughter called?
Aurora.
Aurora.
Yeah,
Love that name.
we call her Rory. Yeah.
Right, okay.
She's 4 weeks now.
Wow.
She's doing well. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. She'll be a nightmare. My daughter's a nightmare.
Well, she was really difficult. 3 weeks, but we've since found there was a intolerance.
Right.
And she's completely mellowed.
Oh.
She's smiling, she's happy. So
Yeah, wait until she starts talking back to you, I'm telling you.
yeah.
My daughter's 5 now.
Yeah.
She's 6 in August. Yeah, she's hard work sometimes.
Yeah.
She's hard work, and she's a real daddy's girl as well. So everything's daddy. And then, well, so interestingly, I've managed to get out of it for the last few weeks. You know, like 'cause I had this thing with the hernia and what. So obviously, I've not been able to pick her up or anything. So she's not been happy about that. But so that means that mummy's been taking her to bed and reading stories because normally I have to do it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've managed.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Must be nice. But
So yeah, so I think my stomach's actually a bit painful for the next, 6 to 12 months, to be honest. But yeah, and
just
then
said I can't do it.
yeah, sorry, can't lift you, can't do anything. So yeah, and then I've got 2 older boys. My eldest is 11, Ethan, and then my middle one's Caleb. Caleb's he's proper chill.
They're in school then.
Yeah. So Ethan goes to high school in September. God, mate, I can't believe it.
Scared?
Yeah,
Nervous?
terrified.
Yeah.
I'm terrified. Only because, so Ethan is a mini me.
Yeah.
He's sarcastic, just like I am, which means that we clash quite a lot because he is
Yeah.
exactly like me.
Yeah. When you're being serious, it's like, yeah, I get that.
It's like, I always tell this story. So I remember once, and he was on the floor. I can't remember what he was doing. But I said to him, Ethan, get off the floor. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And then it ended up being me really telling him off. Ethan, get off the floor. So he stands up and he starts jumping in the air. What are you doing? Try to get off the floor.
Pushing your butt.
I was like, little, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, so he's very much like me. And I've said to him before, like, well, it's a punishment, like, go to your room or something like that,
Yeah.
or you can't have this or you can't have that. I remember him not even that long ago because he has a mobile, and he'd said something rude, not rude as in naughty, like rude as in negative. I can't remember what it was that he said, and I just looked at him, and he walked over to me and gave me his phone, and then started walking off. I was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Well, you're about to take that off me and send me to my room, so I'm just gonna go now." I'm like, "Fine, whatever." But just that sort of like little sarcasm and stuff like that is a pain in the backside. So anyway, back to you.
Yep.
So, you're fitting carpets for the company in Oldham.
Yep.
How long are you doing that for? You said 19 to about 23, so
Yeah.
about 4 years.
23.
Yeah.
So in between, I'd upgraded to a small Transit Connect van.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it from a company in town. I was just so excited to get a van. Didn't really check it or anything. Had no fuel in it, drove away, put some fuel in it. I get to Denton roundabout, it cuts out. Oh, great, here we go. Got it fixed temporarily. Had it for a good period of time, but constantly fixing it. It was a fairly reliable van. Then when we found out Chester was coming, the van had just broke down.
Right.
There was a second wave of COVID that came,
Right. Okay.
which sort of slowed business down a little bit again. And when Chester did finally come, the van had completely seized. Like,
Right.
I had the money to sort it. but I also had quite a bit of savings to take a bit of time off. You know, took a bit of time off with him. After about 2 weeks, thought I don't want to go back. I just want to. I want to be around.
Right.
I want to see him for the next couple of months, be around and help him. So I seem to like lose a bit of my work ethic. I just wanted to be around him. Completely changed as a person. I thought I want to be here, and I want to see him. I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah. So
Um,
sorry, let me just take you back a little bit. So
yeah.
when you say that you've got savings and stuff, are you still living at
For his mum and dad's.
right? Okay.
Right.
So is that how you've managed to get some savings
Yeah. So
in place?
because we'd not found anywhere yet. We realised we wanted to buy somewhere. We were staying at Fraser's mum and dad's
Yeah.
because her siblings had moved out.
So how old are you at this point? 21?
22.
22. So because that to me in this day and age, I mean, I'm quite a bit older than you. So for a 22-year-old to have savings
Mm.
is quite an unusual,
Yeah.
or it certainly is from my perspective at the moment. I mean, the amount of people that obviously in my business that apply for properties to rent and things like that who are, you know, your age now and younger, they don't really have any savings. They don't have the ability to be able to, you know, stay at a partner's
Yeah.
parents or at home still and have the ability to be able to save. So just in terms of being that young and being able to save, what was your mentality? Was there any tricks that you could give to anybody that's listening now who's of that age, who wants to try and save up, who's in a similar sort of situation where they could still be living at home or living at a partner's? Is there any hints, tips that you can give, or you know, what was your mentality at the time to think, right, I want to save money?
I would say so. You caught in a crossfire because obviously you got friends that are going out all the time. That was difficult. Um, don't get me wrong, I like a drink, so every now and then I would have a blowout.
Yeah,
But just going to the pub, going out on weekends out every week, it's just something I never really did.
right,
So I do feel like I've sort of missed out there because a lot of my friends were doing that.
yeah,
But I was also in a position to move out fairly young, so
yeah.
I don't regret it.
So when you say that you feel like you missed out, do all of your friends that you were doing that with then, do they all own their own house now?
Yeah, but there's one couple that do,
Yeah.
and then a couple of friends still live at home, but
It's difficult, right?
yeah, absolutely. They all say now, like, I don't. They all say we're looking at saving for a house, but it's impossible.
Yeah. It's
It's
so
really hard.
difficult for young people now to get on the property ladder. I mean, I had Lisa on. Lisa did my first
Yeah,
podcast, and just after her podcast had released, I think a high street bank or a lender had announced that they were going to do 5% deposits
yeah,
and things like that.
which is good.
It's the only way. It's the only way. But even then, 5% deposit. I mean, 5% of you know, when your average house around here, just for a two up, two down, now is about 140 grand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's not going to be easy for people.
That was another thing. So obviously, COVID. We were looking at houses before. We went for one just before, two up, two down in Denton. I think it was one. I think it was 140.
Yeah.
Um, the surveillance came back and there was something needed to do on the roof. So we said, "Oh, could you meet us?" That fell through. About 2 or 3 months later, we were looking again and the prices just went.
Yeah.
We started bidding on things. We were getting outbid by like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Just gazumped out of nowhere. The house price said one thing. We'd actually go in at what it'd say, and someone would come in and just gazump me 10 grand. And you're like, yeah, we didn't have a chance.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. I mean, we weren't, because obviously we came back and we were still just the letting agency then. It was only after I'd bought it that then we moved back over into sales as well. But yeah, I mean, just talking to sort of like other professionals in the business and what have you, they were saying like it was insane, some of it. I mean, we deal with Edward Miller auctions quite a lot.
Yeah.
And at one point during COVID, or just after COVID, you could put a property. So auction properties, notoriously, you put a property into auction that you can't sell on the open market or through traditional estate agents. So you'd put it into an auction normally and a massively reduced price. But what they were finding, and what we've seen since, is that when you put it in auction, sometimes they were going for more than what it would have normally gone for
Yeah.
on the open market,
Yeah.
because all of a sudden everybody had this idea that they want to get into property, and so it just
Yeah.
exponentially grew the market and the amount that people were paying. And it was the same for rents. I touched on this with Joe Hodgson on the earlier podcast, and he asked me, why do I think that rents jump so exponentially? And for me, I've always put it down, and I could be completely wrong, but from the feedback that I've got from tenants, one of the main reasons for it was when COVID hit and everybody had to stay at home. You had these people that were in flats that all of a sudden couldn't go out. They couldn't exercise properly. They couldn't go into a garden and just relax. It was roasting hot, and they couldn't go out and sit somewhere. So all of those people in the flats thought, right, well, if we have to go through this again, I'm going to want a house.
Yeah.
So if I want a house, I can't afford a big garden, so I'm not even bothered. It'll just be a small yard. So then all you two up, two downs with the small yards out the side, you had all these people that were from flats that wanted them. But it was a flow, right? So everybody in the two up, two downs with the small yard thinking, oh, I can't sit in this small yard again if we have a lockdown. You might have to get another house with a slightly bigger garden.
Yeah.
So they moved on. The ones in the bigger houses were like, oh, I'm not staying in a terraced house. I need a semi-detached so that I don't have people banging next door to me if I'm in lockdown again. So they moved on, and it was just a flow. And so what happened was the market saw that. And as soon as there's a demand for something in any business, no matter what it is, the price goes up.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to rents. That's what happened to the rents.
Well,
Crazy.
touching on that, it's like, because everyone's at home, they're not spending any money as well. So they actually thought, oh, we've actually got spare cash. So maybe we can afford that lifestyle if we, not back on what we were spending before this. And there was a stage where I think that did affect a lot of businesses, which is why it was like eat out to help. What was it called?
Eat out to help out.
Yeah. Like you had all that going on, just to encourage people to actually start spending again, because they've got so used to not spending anything. So
I mean, I did my back garden, the
a
decking,
lot of people did.
grass, everything.
I tried to help my in-laws and just make the best of it. I think I ended up cutting a privet down, and I was chomping and chomping and chomping. And like, where's my bush gone? I was like,
Thought you wanted it cut.
yeah.
Okay, so we're second wave of COVID. That's passed. You've decided that you want to stay at home with your boy.
Yeah.
You've got some money to live off. What then changes for you to go back to work?
So gets to about 4 months. Freya's like, I think you need to start looking at getting back into work. Give me a bit of a push.
Does that mean that she was bored of you being at home?
Probably. Because she was working from home.
Right.
And yeah, she was like giving me a bit of a nudge, took the hint. Thought, do I go back on my own? Do I try something different? I think I did feel like I'd failed a little bit because I decided not to go back on my own.
Okay.
So
Why?
So the van did break. I was a little bit scared to reinvest in a van and try and push building my business, building a business. I was a little bit scared. I was worried about it not working, and found a job in Stockport. And I think another big factor of it was when we were looking for houses, because I was self-employed for only a short period of time, didn't get quite a sized mortgage I was looking for. So that did push me to that direction as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
What was the job in Stockport?
Carpet flooring shop in Stockport. I was there for 9 months, liquidated. So didn't go too well. It was a lovely shop as well in Heemore.
Why do you think that went
Ultimate.
into liquidation? Especially in that kind of area.
Overheads. So they set up just before COVID,
Right.
and they were doing very well. COVID came, they were doing even better. And then as soon as we came out of COVID, they had too many staff, they'd invested in vans,
Gosh.
and it just didn't work out. They had too many overheads, I think. So they just didn't recover.
Right.
But
So you lost that job.
yeah, lost that job. But on paper, it looked like it could have gone a long way.
Right.
But I think the stress of it, I just decided to call it a day. Then from there, one of the reps for one of the flooring companies that we were using put me in touch with someone in Denton, so I was right around the corner. I went there just to see what they were looking for, really, because I was only at that firm, I was just salesman,
Right.
and they said we need someone to really run things, or at least try and fill those shoes, because he was a fitter and he just needed a bit of help to establish his business. He just set up. So yeah, sounds good. Worked out really well. It was going really well. Then he moved to sort of Warrington way.
Right.
He said, I'm going to move the business. Went with him. That was in Lim.
Right.
And then Freya got pregnant with Rory.
Okay.
So dad instincts kicking in. And I was like, oh, it's a bit far. I get home quite late.
Bit more of a distance there, isn't it?
Yeah. So it just made sense to look for something more local, and that's how I ended up back at Firwoods.
So talk to me about how that happened then.
I told him I wept because, again, that guy was great. Yeah, I loved him, still do. It was really good to work for. All the fitters were employed. Really good friends with them now. Really good friends with Ryan. And yeah, it was difficult. Told him I've come to a decision because partner's pregnant, to go a bit more local. The reason Firwood is because the previous owner who took me on had passed,
Okay.
and the lads that had inherited it, they knew about me anyway because I used to be there, and they were saying we really need someone to come in and manage
So
the
did
shop.
they come after you essentially?
Yeah, in
Okay.
some way. Yeah, they'd reached out, said if you're ever looking to come closer to home,
Yeah.
come see us, and it worked out really well. So yeah.
So when you went back there, you've gone doing what exactly with them?
So they took me on to similar roles to what I was doing at Ryan's place. They wanted someone to come in, help run the shop so that he could take a step back, because they do have other businesses.
Right.
And since then, that's what we've been doing. Firwoods has been going for 44 years.
Right.
So it was old school, and they wanted to bring it into the modern day. So
how have you done that?
Change. First of all, they had, so the calendars used to be all written.
Yeah.
That had just changed before I'd gotten there.
Right.
So they had gone on to proper Google calendars, which is still not the most ideal.
Yeah.
Came with a bit of a clearer calendar. Tried to get everything off paper. Everything was written. And you can't read each other's writing. You just can't. I can't read my own sometimes. So
Mate, I'm the same. People say to me, you look like you've got doctor's handwriting.
yeah,
It's horrendous.
the shop was dated. Needs a lot of work. Luckily, they've got other businesses to help do that. So I started ripping everything down, and in between, we're just trying to do a lot at once. So we're trying to modernize the actual business and revamp the shop. So there's a lot going on, but we're still doing very well.
So what does Firwood actually do?
So Firwood does carpets, vinyl, laminate, LVT, luxury vinyl tiles, engineered wood. The only thing we don't really touch is tiles, flooring tiles.
Specialist that though, isn't it?
Yeah. The other side of businesses do get involved with that, so it does help.
Okay. So what does a typical week look like for you?
So we've got one, two, three full-time carpet fitters, 2 part-time, got a laminate fitter who's well, they're all subcontractors.
Yeah.
And then
But you're employed by them now?
yeah, I'm employed,
Right.
yeah. We've got Soraya, who's recently joined us. She's in admin, but she does socials as well.
Okay.
She's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And then you've got Lee, who is the director. Jumps in where he needs to.
Great name,
Does a lot.
by the way.
It is. Don't tell him that. And yeah, we've just got a really good family unit.
Yeah.
It always has been. It's a small carpet shop in Tameside that just looks after local customers, and it's good.
So you, from a professional aspect, you've jumped around a little bit,
Yeah, like a grass.
but you've stayed quite core to what you do, which is
Yeah.
carpets and flooring, right? So where do you see yourself in another 5 years? Are you going to take the plunge and try and go on your own again? Or this might be a difficult thing, because obviously if your employers watch this, then they might be thinking, oh, what's going on here? But yeah, just out of curiosity, what are you going to do?
No. So that is something that since I've come out of fitting was bouncing around my head. But every time I come to try and think, oh, how would I do it? I can't help but feel like I'm really comfortable now.
Right, okay.
I've got a really good relationship with them. You know, if we get the business to where we want it to be,
And where's that?
efficient enough so that I can run it without Lee being there at
Okay.
all, and just growing, getting bigger, doing more LVT work,
Yeah.
just more work in general.
So obviously I've touched on in a couple of the previous episodes about the fact that I'm a member of BNI, which is a referral networking company. So yeah, go BNI. So obviously you've joined that. Whose decision was that? Was that yours?
Yeah, so Joe, who came on, I believe he put one of the directors in touch, said you should come and try it.
Okay.
Don't think he fancied it, wasn't for him. So he asked Lee. Lee said no, done with that, but offered it to me. Said, do you want to give it a go? And I was well keen, always keen to try something. Yeah, I was really nervous. Never done anything like that. Even this, like speaking in this manner, it's quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But loved it. It's been great. Yeah.
So do you think that will help the business?
Yeah, it's given me a lot more confidence to deal with things on a professional level, because you're speaking to people professionally all day, and in certain situations. So yeah, it's definitely helping.
From my perspective, I mean, obviously I've been in business a little bit longer than you have, and I was in BNI well over 10 years ago, and then I left, and then I've just rejoined because it was a new chapter that was launching. And for people that listen to this that I'm talking about BNI, they're like, what are you talking about? But when I rejoined, I sort of thought, what's it going to be like? Is it actually going to work for me? And one of the only reasons that I joined was because it was a brand new chapter and we were launching it as a brand new. But even in the few weeks that we've been doing it, compared to your first one to where you are now, you can already see the improvement that you've made just from standing up and talking and telling us about your business and what you want. Have you had anything from it yet?
Yeah, it definitely works. 100% works. So we've already had a couple of orders come from the inside.
Bro.
Now we're all getting our claws out.
1st of July.
Like you're actually getting proper referrals. It's on YouTube.
Should we pitch it for the Visitors Day then? 1st of July. 1st of July is the BNI launch. If you are interested in coming as a visitor, whoever says yes, make a comment on the post on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you are. and me or Dom will invite you,
Yeah.
and then we'll split the visitors.
Yeah, definitely get involved.
Definitely get involved.
It will massively improve your business.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
And self-confident, everything about it.
I get that there's a stigma around it because it's a bit. People say it's a bit culty, don't they? That's kind of like the stigma around it.
Yeah,
But it's
it's
really not.
culty.
Yeah, we are really not like that.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I bet it is daunting going into a chapter that's been going for so long.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's fresh to get into one that's just starting off.
But it's like when they talk about it, it's like they talk about the cost because people say, oh, it's expensive, that, isn't it? But you'd spend more than that on Google ads.
The first
stuff
job
like
we
that.
did paid for it.
That's what I mean.
So that's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an electrician in there who's I've convinced him to come on. I'm recording his on Friday actually, Phil. But I think I paid for his first year already.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to raise Thingo more to get to the top of his head in. But yeah, so I just think that it's just good for business, isn't it? It's good for networking. It's good for getting to know people. And it's good for your confidence and things like that. Like you just said.
You're meeting new people.
Yeah.
And you can't be stagnant, can you?
No.
Business.
So that's business. So what about Dom personally? Where are you going to be in 5 years?
5 years, like we said, I want to be running Firwood Carpets efficiently. I want good people around me, and I want to be able to essentially have more time to myself.
Yeah.
As a manager, I want to be able to delegate things, and if I want to go and do something with my family for 2 hours, I should be in a position to say, right, guys, I need you to sort this,
Yeah.
and there'd be absolutely no issues at all, and potentially in the future invest in the company. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
where
That's an option.
that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. And so in terms of outside of work, what do you enjoy doing?
Do a bit of footy. Yeah.
Who do you support?
City.
Oh, good.
The Blues.
Oh, good. That was going to change our relationship dramatically then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Josie Red, and he's a United fan. But I told him a story actually. I don't know whether you've seen the podcast. I can't even remember whose it was. So Anna, who you just met out there,
Yeah.
she's a United fan. And I don't know how we got talking about like AI and stuff like that, right? And there's a thing that Google can do, and you put like a web page in or a text or something like that, and it creates like a podcast style conversation.
Right.
It's American, right? So there's American terminologies in it. So it sounds a bit weird when they're talking about Manchester United and all that sort of stuff. But we put it in, right? And it was the about page on my website. And I just asked it to create me a like an overview of the about page.
Right.
And it comes back and it says all this stuff. And then it gets to a point where it says, oh, and then you've got the friendly banter on a Monday morning after the football from weekend, because you've got Anna, the social media girl, who's a Man United fan, and then you've got the director, Lee, who's a Manchester City fan. So I can only imagine what the banter would be like in there on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, how has it done that?
Yeah.
Like, it's properly nuts.
Well, we use it for everything now.
Yeah.
It's just. Because to me, all the time, you don't need to use it for that. I'm like, yeah, well,
It's just quicker, isn't it? It's just quicker, isn't it?
yeah, it is.
How will that affect your business, do you think? Will it? Unless you've got robots that are fitting carpets.
I can only see it improving it. It won't ever. It's never going to be able to do that. Obviously.
How do you know? You've got robots that are doing
suppose-
heart surgeries.
Yeah. True.
I'm pretty sure if they can do a heart surgery, they'd probably be able to fit a bit of carpet, surely.
If someone's investing in AI tech, I don't think they're going to be investing into a carpet fitter. That's
Suddenly that's yeah, possibly not. There's not going to be a great deal of money in that, is there? No. Yeah, so you might be safe. But it is nuts.
Hopefully.
It is nuts.
The fitters will be safe, that's for sure. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never know. It could. It will definitely help businesses run one-man operations. That's the worrying thing, I think.
Yeah. Booking appointments, like people ringing up. Like, you can ring up some now.
Well, that's what helps. Yeah, you've got automated.
Yeah, but some of it sounds like genuine people that are answering the phone to you.
Yeah. To be fair, sometimes like most call centers, you'll find that they'll actually help
Yeah.
you a lot quicker than.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at a new phone system for the office. And there's always been like phone systems that'll integrate into like your CRM and stuff like that, right? But this one now, so if you was to ring me as a, I don't know, as a landlord or a tenant or whatever, I'd be able to pick up the phone, it'll come up on my screen who you are,
Mm.
it'll pull up your record on my CRM system. It'll then record the call, it'll transcript the call,
Yeah.
so it can put the transcript straight onto the notes section of my CRM system. And then not only will it do that, if I've said to you, or if you've said to me, Lee, can you make sure you send me over the tenancy agreement? And I've gone, Dom, I'll send it to you on Wednesday before close of business. It'll take that little bit and then create me a diary event to remind me that I said on that phone call to you that I'm going to send you the tenancy agreement on Wednesday.
Well, there you go. It's like, do you fork out a wage for? Do you pay for it? Is that something you pay for?
It's just a phone system. It's genuinely just a phone system.
Mm.
I think when I've looked at it, I think it's going to cost me £50 a month more for the phone system. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So
So
it can do that.
straight away, you're like, well, you'd have had to pay for
Yeah.
something to have that role, and it's taken it
And
away
then
from someone.
and then what makes it even stranger, right, is that I could probably get some sort of software that could then pull that tenancy up and actually send it for me.
Mm.
So I wouldn't even have to do that bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is nuts.
I think this topic to touch on with that is obviously recently there's been talks of really low employment for younger generation, and I definitely think that's got something to do with it.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad, really, because I see kids come in and they're giving us CVs, and it's like, I was quite lucky. Every time I went anywhere, I always got it.
Yeah.
So to see a lot of kids come in and we just don't have a position for them at the time, and then you look at what you might be paying an apprentice or a younger member of staff, you would also then think, well, I could get someone, with 30 years experience on
Yeah.
minimum wage, and
Yeah.
it's quite worrying. And then you've got AI as well.
Yeah.
So I do think that's
But that point that you've just made there, sort of like on minimum wage and stuff. So obviously at the moment, there's a reason why a lot of companies take on younger people, because it's cheaper, right? Especially with the amount of national insurance that you have to pay now and the tax on top of that. It is astronomical what we have to pay as a small business. I mean, I had to cut some hours in order to pay for the extra NI when they said that they weren't going to affect working people. They've forgot that directors of limited companies are also working for those companies. So it has a direct effect on me, certainly. But when they've said that they want to try and close that gap between younger people and people over 25, there's a reason why people were paid less, because that meant that it was easier for them to get into work, because theoretically it was cheaper to pay them.
Yeah.
If it's going to cost you the same as somebody with 30 years experience,
it's no brainer, isn't it?
who are you going to take on?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So from a younger person perspective, they've now not only got to fight against the fact that they've got to pay the same, they've also got to fight against someone that's got 30 years experience, and they can pay them the same.
Yeah. Or
It's crazy.
or a system that's doing the job.
Or a system
anyway.
that's doing the job anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is nuts. I remember we were talking, I was out with a couple of mates of mine having a drink, and this is how I roll now when I'm out for a drink. We talk about AI and all that sort of stuff, and aliens. We talk about aliens and stuff. But yeah, we were talking about like AI, and we were saying about the fact that it depends on how you look at it, right? Because there's two trains of thoughts. It's either going to ruin us, or it's going to improve us.
Yeah.
Right. And I do liken some of it to farming, right? Before tractors, everybody was farming.
Yeah.
And then tractors were invented, and loads of farmers lost their jobs.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden, you've got this tractor that can literally go from one side of the field to another side of the field in the time that it'd take, a couple of people in 5 minutes. So it's just job displacement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just moved.
Yeah.
But I think that the new technologies and things like that I think that the the farming aspect of it was a gradual, right? It happened over many years and things like that. I think this, because it's so easily available and you can just get it at your fingertips, the speed at which it's happening, I think is going to be the biggest problem. Not necessarily the fact that it is happening, because again, just job displacement, people just have to move to do something different. But I think it's the speed it's happening. And I think the people that will suffer are people like taxi drivers, lorry drivers, and things like that. Because like, I think they've got it in America now, aren't they? Like driverless cars, and you can get a taxi and drive from one side of the country to the other side, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, delivery drivers. You put something in a truck, and especially in America and places like that, where it's like, 3 days from one side to the other.
Yeah.
If you've got an AI driving that, they can literally just drive that whole time.
It was like the whole Amazon thing with the drones.
Feels like nuts, that, innit?
Yeah. Is that actually going? Is that
Yeah, I think.
something that's current? Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have driverless cars over here though yet, do we? I don't think.
I don't know. I mean, I think the closest you'll get is the Tesla, isn't it? That's got driving assist and
Yeah.
that.
I mean, my car, I've got one of these Chinese JQs,
Oh yeah.
which is quite nice. But that pretty much, like, you can let it go of the steering wheel and it won't.
Yeah.
It'll
lane
guide
assist.
you and stuff.
Yeah.
But then it beeps at you.
Yeah. Very
says-
it. She fights it and she's swerving all over the show. So
Yeah.
we've just got a new car, Kia Sportage.
Right.
Not a new, like a brand new model, but it's still got some decent gadgets. I use them. I'm fine. I can drive everything. But she's gone from a small Fiesta to this.
Yeah.
It's quite a big jump, and she's there driving it back from the dealership, and like you say, it beeps at you.
Yeah.
And it's trying to pull you back into the lane. She's like, it's swerving. I'm like, no, just let it do what it needs to do.
No,
She's there fighting it.
I've got, so if I put my head back on the headrest, if it's there for more than a few seconds, my car beeps at me and says, "Are you sure you don't want to take a break?"
You sleep.
Like, it's absolutely crazy. But anyway, so is there anything that we haven't discussed that you want to touch on?
No, that's pretty much where we're at. Yeah. I'm back at Firwoods. It's a fun shop. We're renovating it at the minute. It's a good place to be.
You have a showroom there as well.
Yeah, there's a showroom. Yeah, it's just a bit of a building site of the room. But all the books are there. We do remeasuring services, things like that. So we do home visits, which is pretty popular.
So make sure you send me all the links, everything, or your websites and what have you, and any of the socials that you've got, and we'll make sure we tag them in the descriptions so people can find you. But just for people that are listening rather than trying to find, how do we get? What's your website?
Firwood Carpets.
What's your website address?
www.firwoodcarpets.co.uk.
And what's your social handles? You know any of them?
Socials. What for Instagram?
Yep.
I don't think the same. Firwood Carpets.
Firwood Carpets.
Yeah.
We're gonna link them up.
Firwood Carpets Flooring Denton.
Yeah.
For Facebook.
Phone number?
061 320 9723.
Perfect. Dom, thank you very much for coming in.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.